Hey everybody, my name is Kim McCluskey and I am an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. I've been with this company about 19 months and I'm really honored to be here talking to you today about the importance of using systems to help you scale your business and just keeping it stupid simple. This is something that I feel like I'm the queen of now and I'm really passionate about, but I was not before. I have done a couple of network marketing businesses before this actually, and the last one I did for 4.5 years, poured my blood, sweat, tears into it. And y'all, it's important to understand my backstory to know why this is so important to me. I exhausted myself in that company, spinning my wheels, trying to do all the things, be everything to everyone, figure everything out the harder way and the long way, because I didn't have an upline that had this great system in place that I could walk in the door and just, add and tag people and easily share about the products and the opportunity. There was nothing in place for me. I had to figure all of that out myself. And while I do believe that my upline, her presence or her lack thereof, was not something that should dictate my success. I knew my success was up to me. I fully admit that it was harder for me, and it took me a lot longer to get results in the business, right? And also just my personality. I'm a really hard worker and a recovering perfectionist, a little bit of a control freak in there too. And so I was always trying to do the best that I could and like talk to every single person one-on-one and have that personal touch and all these things, and wanting to be the upline that I never had kind of led me to just throwing spaghetti at the wall. Have you ever felt that in your business? Like, what's going to stick? What's going to work? And I was constantly changing things and constantly reinventing the wheel and trying to do everything myself. And it was exhausting. And it not only led to burnout and a lot of the health problems that I wound up coming to Plexus to help me with, but it also is something that really led to my priorities getting out of whack. I want always to keep God first, family second, and my career behind that. But that is absolutely not what ultimately happened in my last network marketing business. And so when God called me away from that business after 4.5 years of building it, I was heartbroken because I loved it, but I knew that it was probably for my good. And about 8 months later, God nudged me to try these supplements to help me find healing from a lot of the health problems that I was having. And I imagine my surprise when 2 weeks later, I knew the products were working and he nudged me to share about it. But honestly, y'all, I didn't want to because I was afraid of starting something again. I was afraid of failing at something again, right? And spending all my time and not really having it make much money. But I was also really afraid, most of all, of letting something take over again. And so it was super important to me and remains very important to me that if I was going to do this, I knew that I needed to do it differently. I needed to not just do it for freedom, but from a place of freedom. I didn't want my entire life to get turned upside down and my priorities to get out of whack. And so if I wanted it to be different, I was going to have to do things differently. And that's what I've done. And that's what I want to share with you today. So you're going to see me glancing at my notes because I really could talk for hours on this and I only have like 10 minutes at most. So I'm going to keep myself the best that I can on track. Okay. So when I started these supplements, I was absolutely hell-bent on not doing the business because of past experiences, right? But the truth is my husband had just lost his job in COVID. We had just had our third baby. Our house had flooded. We were still on a debt-free journey. And I honestly did not have the money to stay on the products more than the first month. I sold a couple things on the Facebook market to help me cover the cost of the products. But I was very honest with my upline that I could not continue the products. And she set that expectation and let me know. I actually had tried Plexus 4 years ago and gave the products 30 days, even though I knew I was planning to give them, at least 60 to 90 days, right? I actually stopped my subscription, turned it off at the 30-day mark because I didn't want to keep paying for something that I didn't know was working. And I didn't feel like the products really did anything in that first month, which we all know is normal, but it's really one thing to hear that from somebody before you start the products. And it's something else when you're 30 days in and you're about to shell out another $130 for something that you haven't noticed a bit of difference from. It's something different then, right? And so in my business, I've learned that the best offense is a strong defense. If I don't want people to turn off their subscriptions and stop these products, if I want them to be on them long enough to actually see what they can do for them, I have to prioritize helping people get the cost of their products covered off of the bat. I think probably we all know that I truly believe everybody would find healing and improvement in their health if they stay on the products long enough. But it's not a quick fix, and it's not always just 3 months for people. So I don't tell people anymore like, oh, give these 3 months, and if you don't find healing, no. I say like 3 months is when these products are just getting started. Like, you got to stay on them at least that long if you want to start to see they can do for you. And that's important to set that expectation. It's helpful to them. Then they don't feel like they're the person that it's not working for, right? But it's also incredibly important for us, for our businesses, residual income keeping people on the products. Okay. So, to me, I realized after I was newer to this and people were turning off their subscriptions that if I really wanted to truly help people, that a big part of my customer care was going to have to be helping them get the cost of their products covered. And I know that you're all probably like, yes, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to help everybody go silver and get the cost of their products covered, right? Because our businesses would blow up. And it sounds so simple, but I think, and the truth is, guys, it is. The truth is that we complicate it. But by keeping this really simple and just being myself and sharing my story and using simple systems to connect more people to information about how Plexus could help them, my business blew up to 6 figures in 14 months. Within 14 days of me signing up to start Plexus, I had not made one post on social media because I wasn't even on it at the time, but I did share with a couple of people that I knew were struggling with health problems about what I was learning in the info page and how this might be something that helps them too. My upline encouraged me, because I was hell-bent on not doing the business, to pray and ask God to put anybody on my heart that's struggling with health issues that might be needing to learn about gut health, blood sugar, and inflammation, and how these products could help them. And that's what I did. It was the best advice she's ever given me. And that's something I've done with my clients to this day. And so God put a couple people on my heart. I reached out and they were interested. So I had my friend add them. My sponsor added them to our info page, tagged them in a couple of things. They decided to order. I talked to them about how the products are not a quick fix and that you've got to give these at least 3 months to start to see what they can do for you. And if they were like me and cost was a concern and they weren't sure they could pay for that, let me know, because I'm happy to help them. Invite a couple people that they know struggling with health issues into that page, message, tag them in a couple things. And if they decide to order, 3 people would give them like $350, and then their products would be free for the first 3 months as well. Both of those people did that, y'all. And again, within 14 days, I had gone Fast Start Silver and Fast Start Senior Silver and made like $900, and my mind was blown. That's when I wanted to know more about the business. And that's why I realized that it's so important to keep this simple, because if it would have been complicated, I would have walked away, right? But it was so simple, it kind of blew my mind. Here I had exhausted myself for years trying to, make $900. It took me like 9 months to do that in my last company. And it was so simple here because the system was simple of sharing. Anybody could message somebody or talk to a family member and plug them into this page and just tag them in some more information. And that's it. People were asking for ordering instructions, and it blew my mind. And I knew that this was something that I need to leverage with systems and just to keep it simple. So guys, while I know that these products, I really do think they work and they sell themselves, and this business is much less time consuming than the last one that I did, and compensation plan is way better, I also think that a huge part of my success is how simple that I've kept it. And that's what I want to kind of teach you how to do today. So from the beginning, like I said, I knew I wanted this business to be different. I didn't want to be on my phone all the time, have unhealthy, work boundaries, or let this take over my life. So I had to do it different. And that's what I've done. So here's some tips. Number one, when someone asks me about Plexus, I don't just dump a bunch of voice clips in there, okay? And that can be really overwhelming for people, and it's not duplicatable. It's not a smart use of your time. So I send the same message to each person. I copy, paste, and send. When they share their symptoms, because I kind of just say, hey, I'm so glad you're interested. These products have done so much for me. I can't wait to tell you more about them. Hey, about 20 months ago, when I saw a post from my friend Chelsea about these, supplements and what they had done for her, she added me to an info page, and I learned more about gut health, blood sugar, and inflammation, and how everything in our body revolves around those 3 things. I had no idea. But when one of those things is out of whack, it causes the other ones to get out of whack, and it can contribute to all kinds of symptoms and I list a bunch of them. I said, do you have any symptoms like that? And when they answer me, and typically they're like, yes, I have a bunch of those, or yeah, I struggle with this or that. I just send a quick voice clip, or I just kind of type out like, oh my goodness, I am so sorry to hear that. I can totally relate, and I know that I can help you. I'm so glad that you saw my post. And I give them a quick little tidbit, something to kind of pull them in, maybe about the connection between anxiety and serotonin being produced in the gut or something. But I'm like, hey, I just invited you to our info page. As soon as you accept that link, I'm going to tag you in a little bit more information about these supplements, about how I can help you, kind of how the supplements work and all of that. And I've already added value. So people are already interested, right? Like I didn't just share a link to order the supplements. I'm actually trying to help them. I want them to get into this page and learn a little bit more. My heart is to kind of educate first and foremost, but I already taught them something. They didn't know that their symptoms might be coming from gut health, blood sugar, and inflammation issues, right? And now they do. So that I want to get in here and learn more. So we have 3 posts that we tag people in. a welcome post where I kind of share about candida yeast overgrowth and, how that's connected to a lot of symptoms. And I ask them to share how many symptoms of that they have in the comments, along with their top 3 health goals, or they can just message me that. I tag them in one about the 3 pillars of our health, and I tag them in one about triplex. Those 3 posts are in like a getting started kind of topic, so it's easy to find and tag people in. Everybody gets tagged in them, and now my team does that too. Then I tag in a couple testimonies that I think would speak to them based on the health issues, conditions, or symptoms that they shared with me. I have been doing that for every single person ever since I started, and y'all, I sign usually on average somewhere around 20 to 40 people a month. So trust me when I say that this system is working. And to that point, I always want whatever I'm doing to be duplicatable for my team, but I also want it to be something that I could do no matter how many people are coming in the doors. And the way I used to do business, all those voice clips and all the messaging back and forth, like it was not something that I could have ever done. I would have to live on my phone to sign up 40 people a month, right? And now I don't, because I have great systems in place. So when people, usually within 24 or 48 hours, I'm already hearing from people. If not, I follow up, ask them if they got a chance to read the, posts and what they think. And if they're like, this all sounds great, I want to get signed up, I tag them in the post about pricing. And we have that there that explains the couple of different ways to get signed up. And it also talks about the importance of giving this the 60, 90 days at a minimum to even start to see what the products can do for them, and why I recommend that VIP membership. And then, if someone tells me they have a cost concern, they can't afford it, I have a post in there with my story about how I felt like I couldn't afford it and how I used my referral link to get the cost of the products covered, and I share about that option. So that's an easy add and tag too. I don't have to go send all these voice clips and share my story with everybody. I can just tag. And the nice thing is that that's really duplicatable. So when my team gets somebody that can't afford it, they can add that, tag them in that story as well, and also start a 3-way message with me so I can share more. This was working so well, this page that my upline had in place for sharing, that's what I used, you guys, all the way up until I was like senior Ruby, I think. But I realized that I kind of needed like not just a landing page, but kind of an event to invite people to. And I also realized that I was attracting different people than my upline. My girls want to know about sourcing of ingredients. They want the nitty gritty. They are like tried and true researchers. And so I was like, okay, I've got to make sure that what I'm doing is working for my team, right? And so I decided to take her system and make it my own. So I created my own info page on Facebook. I had the same kind of a structure, but I kind of hand wrote my own posts based on the things that I was seeing were coming up, questions that I had, questions that my people have, questions that the girls on my team were getting. Sticking points, like a lot of people are skeptical and a lot of people have a lot of hesitation, or maybe they tried it before and they want to know why this is different. And so I kind of went more in depth. And so if you guys don't have a system, if your upline doesn't have a great system for you, just know that you don't need that. You can take what I'm sharing here. You can go research the 3 pillars of our health and make a post about that. You can go research candida yeast overgrowth and make a post. And you can go take stuff from the back office about triplex and make a post about that. And then grab some testimonies from the Plexus, I think it's, what's it called on Facebook? Plexus Ambassador Testimony Stories page or something like that, and just start posting them and just make an info page that you can add and tag to. And as a leader of a team, you can create that and have your team be inviting and plugging people into that. Anybody can do this. It's really so simple. So I actually started running an info, like instead of just having an info page to add and tag, I started running it an event kind of in that page. I would clear out the posts after, and then my team and I would invite to it and start it again. And we did that just once a month, I think last like February. And then I think we did it twice in March, and we started running it twice a month, and it was working really well. Especially things like cost, things that my team, especially new people, were struggling to share about. They could just borrow my confidence and my words and my story. My team didn't have to come in and do the work. All of the posts, all the information for sharing was already there. They could just add and tag, which is what my upline had done well, that worked so well for me. And I started to see us developing more silvers, helping people get quick wins. And so I knew that what we were doing was working. Now, another system that we put in place is a VIP community that after people purchase, they get added there. And one of the things I did, I structured this similarly to the way my upline had done it. Didn't want to reinvent the wheel, but again, was learning that we kind of needed to, I felt like I could do it better, like not do it better than her, but that I needed to do it the way I could serve people better, was adding some things that I knew my people were needing. And so there's a couple, like a welcome guide, and it's got some stuff about 60 to 90 days and detox and keeping promises to yourself. And part of that is getting the cost of products covered so you can afford to stay on them no matter what comes up. If the heater goes, or your house floods, or your car breaks down, hey, if your products are already paid for the next 3 months, then you don't have to worry about that, right? And so again, strong The best offense is a strong defense. I want people to be able to stay on the products. I want to help them get that covered. So I have a guide set up that talks about the importance of getting the cost of their products covered. I made a video about 8 minutes long. I uploaded it to YouTube, and my entire team and I tag every single person that purchases when they are starting the products in that video. I can't control whether or not they watch it as much as I wish I could, but I do know that everybody gets tagged in it. I also, within their first week, mention the referral link and ask them if that's something they're interested in using, so that the products are going to be like free for the next few months so they can stay on them no matter what happens. So, and that also in that guide where I put the video about the importance of sharing the cost of their products, I have one about a post about how to share on social media or off of social media. So whether or not they're comfortable making a post, they can still get the cost of their products covered. And I'm confident in that because that's what I did. So I know that you can do it both ways, right? And so that one has a post, the post about how to share on social media has one about how to make that first post, some do's and don'ts. It tells them exactly what to do after they make the post, and like a 3-way message that they can send to connect people that are interested with me, and then I take it from there. So they know all the information, so it's not scary or overwhelming. It doesn't feel messy. They know exactly what's going to happen and exactly what to do. It's all in that post. And I also share some examples of some first posts so that they can see. I have a great template that works really well for people to kind of share when they're just starting with the products, or whether they've already been on them a few weeks, they have some results to share. It doesn't matter. Either way, they can share about what they started and why. And that has worked really well for helping people get friends and family that are interested. And then they have no idea what they're talking about, right? Just like I did when I was new. So they just tell them that person that they're going to message them, and they connect them to me in a message. And then I do it from there. And that's such a powerful way for me to be able to help my team develop silvers, because these people that are new, we want them to focus on their health journey. And it's not, I'm trying to help them get the cost of their products covered so they can stay on them. Their journey is first and foremost. I'm not actually trying to get them to work the business, right? Or to develop silvers. That was never my heart. My heart was to help deliver great customer care, to help them get those covered so they can stay on them. And so I don't want this to be a whole thing that they're now trying to learn a business and all that stuff. So I kind of do it for them. And the neat thing is that people watch how simple that it is. I use this we do, and then you do method. Like I'm going to kind of do it for you with those first few people, and then we'll kind of do it together. Like I'm kind of helping you behind the scenes or answering questions for you. And then you feel confident in seeing how simple my system is for sharing and messaging and tagging, and then you can do it yourself. And then these people don't have to be dependent on me to talk to everybody for them, right? It's a great system for learning. So, after that, so the system is very duplicatable, which is super important in network marketing if you want to scale a big business. So again, and this also shows them right off the bat that we do things together, that they're not alone. And it makes it that person that they're talking to about getting signed up, when we ask them about if they need to get the cost of their products covered to use their link, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, well, actually, Crystal didn't know anything either, but Kim helped her and talked to me, and I signed up. So Crystal's going to help me, and I don't actually have to know anything. So yeah, I'll make a post, and if a few people sign up, awesome. The cost of products are covered. So it's simple, it's duplicatable. They know they're going to be supported. And she remembers, like, Crystal didn't have to know everything. Kim was there talking, so I don't have to know anything because Crystal will be there for me. So you can just hand the system right on down. So, so then there's going to be like, hey, maybe I can do this too. So also, guys, a main focus of mine has been, like I said, to help people stay on the product. So kind of in closing, I truly believe that if they stay on them long enough, anyone will find healing. But the biggest obstacle to that is cost. Paying that, $300+ before you know something is working is something that a lot of people are not willing to do or can't afford to do. So I made it my main focus to help people get the cost of their products covered. And that is a huge part. I consider that a huge part of my customer care, and developing systems to help me do that is why my Plexus business blew up the way that it has. And I truly think that it will for you too. So I'm so excited for you guys to take these tips and implement them and create simple systems and help more people get the cost of their products covered.